turn this over to you to talk about Alabama in 2026.
Well, thank you, Andrea. Thank you for everything. Thank you for the work that you did in 2017 that got me to the Senate. I really appreciate it. That was a remarkable election. And I got to tell you, folks, and I know there's a lot of people on this call that I guarantee you remember where you were on December the 12th of 2017 when all of a sudden Steve Kornacki and all these folks started going, oh my God, he's going to win. Doug Jones is going to win. And the stories that we've heard, the jubilation, folks, that's what we need to recreate this coming November, not just in Alabama, but across the country. And there are such incredible opportunities. I want to talk a little bit because what the work that the Center for Common Ground is doing is so important because this is a different kind of persuasion race. We tell folks all the time that it's not a question of persuading someone to vote for Doug Jones. We've got to persuade people to get out to vote. We've got to make sure that folks understand and know that their vote counts and that elections have consequences and they make a difference. And I think people are really waking up to that. The Calais decision alone really sparked something. Alabama was one of those states that as soon as that decision came down, I mean, the ink wasn't even dry on the signatures when the governor called a special session of the Alabama legislature. The Alabama legislature went back and reaffirmed some maps that a three-judge panel has said were designed to intentionally discriminate on the basis of race. They said it again this time, intentionally designed to discriminate on the basis of race. But yet the Supreme Court decided that they were going to go all in anyway. And now we are faced with a new congressional map that it gives an opportunity, but not like it was. The legislature did everything in their power to take away Shamari Figures from being a member of Congress. He was elected in 2024, and they're doing everything they can. But we're going to flip that script on them. I want everybody to remember, these decisions, all of this gerrymandering stuff is based on old data. It's based on the 2020 census. It's based on historical voting patterns. And what folks in Alabama are doing, and they did it in Tennessee. Fortunately, we're only two. There are other states in the old Confederacy, like South Carolina, Georgia, Mississippi, declined to redistrict this time. That may come later, but they didn't rush to do it this time. Alabama, Tennessee did that. But I can tell you, folks, right now, people are concerned. They are beginning to realize that the vote that they have taken for granted, and so they may not or may not vote, they may not think their vote counts, that vote is now under siege. Their voices are not being heard. But we are going to flip that script on them. We're going to get folks out. We are running that kind of campaign. And let me give you some really good news about Alabama, okay? And I know you're thinking, okay, it is Alabama. We love Doug, but he can't win. And I said, well, as Andrea said, I've done it before and doggone it, we're going to do it again. Let me tell you what happened in our May 19th primary. On May 19th, remember, folks, we are an open primary state. You walk up to the voting booth, they ask you which ballot do you want, Republican or Democrat, okay? So keep that in mind. And that is an open primary state. This year, on May 19th in our primary, Democrats voted twice, more than double the amount of votes that they cast in the 2022 primary, the last time we had elections, more than double. And we had a few statewide races, but not many. There was hardly any money spent on Democratic races. But this time, Republicans had all of the contested races, spent probably 15 to 20 million bucks on races. Republican ballots were down 25% across the state. That narrowing the gap in the primary lends itself to some really good news for us going into the fall. That's what we have felt on the ground, even before I made an announcement that I was going to run for governor. It is what we have seen from people, is what we've heard from people. And I got to tell you, the other thing that I'm really proud of, and I think one of the reasons why we saw such a turnout is because of the recruiting that I did, that some others did right after I made the announcement. When I made an announcement in late November, early December, there were a few people running for governor. I had to beat 5 people in the primary, but there was nobody else running except one person that I had been a friend of mine that is decided to run for Secretary of State after I've been talking to him for years about this. There was nobody running for lieutenant governor. There's nobody running for attorney general, nobody running for treasurer, auditor, or our ag commissioner. I got in this race and I got on the phone. And now, guys, for the first time in 20 years, since 2006, we are fielding a candidate in every constitutional office for the state of Alabama. And it is that choice. It is the choices that we are offering folks up and down the ballot that gets folks engaged, that gets people thinking that these are more than just choices in an office. They're choices for the future. This is not a blue wave. Y'all don't talk about blue waves. This is a change ticket. We are going to change elections throughout the South. Andrea was talking about North Carolina. There's going to be change in North Carolina with a Senate race, with your legislature. There is going to be change in Alabama. That's what we're looking at. And that's why people are so excited about the possibilities. We're talking about the issues that people care about, their health care, affordability, their power bills, their gas bills, their insurance rates, you name it. Those are the kind of things that we're talking about, going straight to the people, while the other side is literally just trying to divide people, talking about the things that you hear so often. So, guys, I got to tell you, we're really excited about the race going forward into November. I'm excited with the people that I'm running with this time. Alabama's going to lead the way. When I talked to Governor Beshear the other day, who's now head of the Democratic Governors Association, and giving him these numbers, he came down the day after the primary. He told me, he said, Doug, we are seeing greater Democratic turnout in Alabama than we have seen anywhere in the country. So, folks, this is real. All of this is real. All of this is possibilities. This is the thing, but we need help. The Center for Common Ground needs help to fund the Get Out the Vote efforts. This race is going to be won on the ground. It's not going to be won in TV. We'll do the social media things, but it's going to be won on the ground. That's where the strength of our race is. It's the strength of what the Center for Common Ground is doing, and that is why your support is so helpful. And I see Dick has finally joined us. I see Blumenthal's made it. So, Andrea, I've got my piece in a little bit. I'll stay here and listen to Dick.